Greetings, everybody. My name is James. I am from the internet, and today we are going to be talking about free speech. Now, I am a huge fan of free speech, both in theory and in practice, and I will discuss it often, whether it's here in video format, in live streams, or just when I'm randomly shooting the shit with people. It's something I kind of dig. However, what I've noticed, running in free speech circles, is that the people very often who crow the loudest about free speech understand the concept of it the least. And oddly enough, number one on the list of people who completely do not understand what free speech is just finished their term as President of the United States of America. That's right, Donald Trump. Literally the dude who knows the absolute least about free speech, and he is literally crowing the loudest about it. So today, I want to take a look at what he's currently crowing about to let you know, not so much that we care what Donald Trump is doing, but what the overarching story might possibly mean to you as it relates to politics, free speech, and continued usage of social media platforms. Here we go. President Donald Trump announced a class action lawsuit against Facebook, Twitter, and Google, and he is going to serve as the lead plaintiff in his own suit, claiming that he has been wrongfully censored by companies. Now, before we get too far into this, I am going to give one small allowance here to Donald Trump before I spend the next 10 minutes literally pooping on him and the idiocy behind this story. Much like Donald Trump, I also do not read the terms of service. You know, when I sign up for a social media platform, I just click the thing and then start because they're like 45 pages long. They're filled with legalese. They change them every single week. Nobody actually knows what's in them. However, I have a funny feeling there's probably something in there that says they can do exactly what they did to Donald Trump. Former President Donald Trump has filed suit against 3 of the country's biggest tech companies, claiming he and other conservatives have been wrongfully censored. But legal experts say the suits are likely doomed to fail, given existing precedent and legal protections. Trump announced the action against Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, along with the company's CEOs, Mark Zuckerberg, Jack Dorsey, and Sundar Pichai, at a press conference Wednesday in New Jersey, where he demanded that his accounts be reinstated. He demanded. He's literally half a step away from going full loomer and handcuffing himself to the front door of Twitter and just going, Jack, give me my account back. I'm not leaving. Oh, wait, it's a double door. People are going right by me. This is like ludicrous. Also, keep in mind as I call this ludicrous, I am a guy who is not a conservative, who has been banned from Twitter for almost 3 years. So I'm not coming at this from the angle of some high and mighty liberal who wants to cast judgment upon what other people are saying or doing, because technically, if Donald Trump considers himself to be an aggrieved party in this, well, technically, I'm in the same boat of a grievance, only I wouldn't do something this ridiculous, and I will get into that probably in just a minute, but let me continue. Trump has been suspended from the platform since January. 6 months, rookie. When his followers violently stormed the Capitol building trying to block Congress from certifying Joe Biden's presidential win, the companies cited concerns that Trump would incite further violence and have kept him locked out. All 3 declined comment on Wednesday. Quote, "We're asking the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida to order an immediate halt to social media companies' illegal, shameful censorship of the American people. We are going to hold big tech very accountable, bigly accountable, the most accountable, so accountable that other people are going to walk up to them and tell them that they cannot believe just how accountable they are now being held." Does any of this sound familiar? It's like Trump Mad Libs. You can just change out like a noun and a verb and it's a whole new speech, but it's pretty much the same bullshit. While conservatives often claim the sites are biased against them, several recent studies have found that this isn't the case. Indeed, posts by conservative commentators like Ben Shapiro, Franklin Graham, Dan Bongino, and Dinesh D'Souza are routinely amongst the most widely shared on Facebook. And if you want to know what that looks like, I actually have one of those lists for you. This is pretty much every single day on Facebook. And yes, I know you all love to laugh at Facebook until you remember the reason why your grandma thinks that there's a pizza place in Washington, D.C. where Hillary Clinton is drinking milkshakes made out of babies is because of Facebook. So please let us not lose sight of the fact that they still get billions of views a day by a lot of very easily influenced people. And of course, the talking heads on the right know that, which is why almost every single day, this is what the top 10 list looks like. So no, I don't think conservatives are being unfairly censored on social media. I would tweet about it, but you know, I'm still banned. The suit against Facebook and CEO Zuckerberg says Facebook acted unconstitutionally when it removed Trump from the platform. Suits against Twitter and YouTube make similar claims. All three ask the court to award unspecified damages, declare Section 230 unconstitutional, and restore Trump's accounts, along with those of several other plaintiffs who joined the suits and have also had posts or accounts removed. That's right, we have hit the part of Festivus where we go and air our grievances. Everybody's coming out and joining the lawsuit. I can't wait to see Alex Jones, Laura Loomer, whatever random Nazi got banned last week. And, you know, a whole bunch of totally not white nationalisty people just hanging out with Donald Trump, giving press conferences, going, "We want our free speech back." Which, remember earlier when I told you that people who understand free speech the least are the ones who crow about it the most? This is your reminder that the First Amendment of the Bill of Rights in the United States Constitution clearly states that Congress shall make no law which abridges the free speech of people. Congress, not corporations. Also, the same wise, intelligent people who wrote those words in the Constitution were also the ones who wrote out the stipulations to allow for the government to grant articles of incorporation to business people to make corporations. So y'all kind of created this mess to start with. It's funny to hear you complaining the loudest now. Twitter, Facebook, and Google are all private companies, and users must agree to their terms of service to use their products. Under Section 230 of the 1996 Communications Decency Act, social media platforms are allowed to moderate their services by removing posts that, for instance, are obscene or violate the service's own standards, so long as they are acting in good faith. The law also generally exempts internet companies from liability for the material that users post. Now, back when Trump was in office, he signed a symbolic executive order trying to get rid of Section 230 to ensure that he would be able to keep his social media profiles online after he was no longer president and could directly threaten the tech companies, which is why they all waited 2 months after he lost the election before they pulled his accounts. And now, real quick, so you understand what else Donald Trump's trying to get rid of, other than barriers to claiming everything is free speech, well, this is what Section 230 is. Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, enacted by the U.S. Congress in 1996, says websites typically aren't liable for third-party content. Many people agree with Section 230's general principle that liability should be imposed on the party that posts wrongful content rather than on the speech facilitators in the middle. For example, if I were to say, I don't know, go onto Twitter and put out a tweet calling Tommy Lahren the sixth-generation anchor baby of an undocumented Russian immigrant who was actually arraigned by a grand jury for falsifying immigration documents, and I put that out and I hit the little tweeter button, and Tommy Lahren decided to get offended and sue somebody. Well then, this basically says she can't sue Twitter, but she could sue me. Oddly enough, she didn't sue me, but Twitter kicked me off the platform. I still can't figure this one out. However, recently, Section 230's reputation took a hit from former US President Donald Trump's relentless attacks in 2020, plus the overall tech lash against the accumulation of power and resources in the hands of the internet giants. US regulators are now increasingly open to reforming Section 230 in ways that will dramatically change the internet's role on our society, but almost certainly for the worse. And herein lies the sticky wicket. If you let anybody post anything, anywhere, then A, facts will no longer have meaning, and B, legal threats, harassment, and all sorts of horrible things that come out of online threats and harassment will now become legally protected behavior. And sure, everybody wants to, be able to say what they want about the person on social media who offended them. I'm also pretty sure they don't want that person on social media turning around, finding out information about them, and then posting it online and saying, oh, by the way, here's where this person lives. This is where their kids go to school. This is where their wife goes to yoga. You see, this is one of those slippery slope things people keep talking about. But Trump is not concerned with the slippery slope. The only thing Donald Trump is concerned with is getting his social media profiles back, well, and perhaps making a little noise, because of course, rule number one of carnival barkers and professional wrestling promoters throughout history clearly states, controversy creates cash. And if you don't believe me, well, let me show you the master hard at work. That's right, minutes after Donald Trump got off stage, this blast went out to everybody on his list. I'm suing Facebook and Twitter for unconstitutional censorship. For a short time, 5 times impact on all gifts. Donate now. The 5 times impact thing, we've done like 4 videos on this. It doesn't exist. It's just a way to hype people up to try to get them to donate more money. Nobody is actually matching donations 500%. But again, Donald Trump doesn't care because he believes freedom of speech means that you can lie to people, rip off people, tell them you're going to give them something, take their money, and then give them nothing. Donald Trump thinks that all of this is free speech. Not when other people do it, just when he does it. That's right, when you click the link, the minimum suggested donation on the page to donate is $100. Please contribute immediately to increase your impact by 500% and to get your name on the donor list President Trump sees. Not only are you donating money to Donald Trump, but if you donate $100, Donald Trump will know your name. So yes, everybody, I really do enjoy and appreciate free speech. I like it an awful lot. I discuss it often. I think we should have even more free speech. However, there do have to be mechanisms in place to keep megalomaniacal people from going and propagandizing 80 million people with the click of a button and then everybody else screaming that it's all right because free speech good, censorship bad. That's not how it works when you live in a society, and no one person should be able to just go click, 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 and make reality go away. So no, I don't have a solution for this one. All I know is something has to change. And if it gets changed because of a Donald Trump lawsuit, it's going to get changed for the worse. Until next time, my name is James. I'm from the internet, and I am out. Peace.